Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Today we are going to do a first walkthrough with timeline, and we gonna go into the Eric Wissens case. I call it the dark startup. I'm making a document there. So the goal is that I'm gonna ask you questions, and maybe what you want is to answer them as short as you can, and like that we can reconstruct the whole timeline
Sure.
with facts, and
Sure.
then we're gonna back up everything with the email and evidence.
All right.
Okay, sounds good to you?
But I suggest just looking at the email, because that's the most. It only takes a glance.
Sure, but first let's use the email to answer the questions.
No, I mean the email, the accessing the email, so that you just see that there is.
Yeah, but we need to tie all of it together.
No, but just because the start of any criminal proceedings is
Okay, so
is
we look into the email. This is the activity.
so
on
this is the
account.
date. This is like half an hour after I get access to my email back.
Okay.
After over a month of not having access to my email.
Mm-hmm. So we have indeed an authorized application and logs coming from Switzerland, IP address.
Mm-hmm.
We have several access to your email from Switzerland. The date was May 11th, and we were in 2000. What is the date?
That's last year.
This is 2021.
Yeah.
It's not written anywhere.
Well, it'll be. I send these screenshots as soon as I take them, and it'll be in like the timestamp. But Google has all these raw logs.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I checked the logs. Indeed, we have access from May 3rd to May 11th. We have a first access on May 3rd, 2 access on May 4th, 1 access on May 5th, 1 access on May 8th, and 2 access on May 11th.
Yeah, and all this is from like I do not have my email access.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, none of these emails I had access to when I got them.
Okay.
So like one email's even open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I see.
And then these are my last messages to Urs on this board. Everybody quits this channel. But like, cause they refused to like give me cause we record all these board meetings and they refused to give me a copy of the recording. But then like, and don't invade my privacy. Right? I tell them most strongest possible terms. Any access to my email is invading my privacy, right? If it's not authorized. There's a whole process to do it. And Urs just never, I have an email about this too. Urs just never responds to this.
Okay.
So we can't.
You can see
right.
that. Okay. Fine.
And I even like start citing, the.
Sure.
But so that's the.
That's one thing, but I'm sure there are more things. Okay, but
yes.
We need to be very systematic.
Sure.
Because you can throw evidence all over the place, and I'm sure, but I need first to reconstruct the context of everything. So I will ask you, when did it all started, and what was the situation back then?
So
dates first.
Yes. So the like it starts in 2014.
So it starts in 2014. What was the situation in 2014?
So that's when David, and then his
David who?
David Brohal.
How do you spell that?
Brohall.
Brohall. Brohall.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2014, David Brohall.
And Arto Leitonen.
And
Arto Arto. Arto.
Arto.
Yeah. Leitonen
Lehtinen. Leitonen.
Yeah.
Arto Leitonen and David Brohall.
They invest in 2014.
In 2014, they made an investment.
Yes.
They made an investment in what?
In solar fire.
In SolarFire. What is this
Company.
What is this company legally at that moment?
Limited company. Like
It's a limited. It's a limited liability company.
Yeah, like the equivalent
Organized-
of like the SA.
Okay. Limited liability organized under the law. Organized under the law of
Finland,
which country?
Finland.
Of Finland. Okay. This company is owned by shareholders. Who are the
Yeah.
shareholders at that moment?
So that moment, it's so like before David and Arto invest, it's only me and Ava that have shares.
Okay.
So I own 60% of the shares.
Okay. So before they invest.
Yeah, only Ava and I own shares.
Okay. So, on limited liability law of Finland, as before investment, parted as follow. Eric Wissens, 60%?
Yeah.
60% of the shares.
And 600,000 shares.
600,000 shares. 600,000 share. Okay. And Ava?
40% and 400,000.
Of course. That's Ava, AVA.
Yeah.
Eva Wissens.
Mm.
Eva Wissens, 40%. When they did invest, how much did they invest, and how many shares did they get?
So then David and Arto, we meet him at an investor conference,
Mm-hmm.
and then he comes and checks us out and so on. We discuss, and then he commit to investing, and then like coincidence, David contacts us during the negotiation, wants to invest.
Okay, so
and then invests, and then David decides to invest after just like half an hour phone call.
okay, that's not relevant.
Well, it is relevant because they never disclose any connection, so we
Okay.
think it's coincidence. But later, David says that like he's been talking to Arto.
Okay, so Arto wants to invest
Yeah.
in 2014
Yes. So 10 for 10%. Arto gets 10%.
for 10%.
And David gets 10%.
Soon after, David decide to invest too.
Yeah.
To invest too for the same deal.
Well, more pretty much like we're selling 15%.
You guys were selling 15%.
So at start it was going to be 15% to Arto,
Okay.
but then it becomes 10% to Arto and 5% to David.
Okay. Look, so soon after. Okay. So you guys are okay. Made an investment in SolarFire Limited. Arto wants to invest in 2014 and get for 15%. Soon after, David decides to invest.
Well, he contacts us like coincidentally, and
David
then listens for half an hour and puts and then invests after a 1.5 hour conversation.
SolarFire just after that. No, while you guys are making the deal with Arto.
While we're negotiating, yeah.
While negotiation with Arto.
Yeah. And why it's an important.
Wants to invest.
Yeah.
Okay, no. So,
Yeah.
so we'll see why it's important.
Sure.
What I need now is the proof of all of that. The
Yeah.
email, 2014.
Yeah, well, then there's like a shit ton of emails.
I know, but if we
You
go
want
to
them now?
2014, we don't need all the negotiation, but like you made this claim that Arto wants. You made this claim that David contacts SolarFire soon after.
Mm-hmm.
We need to.
Yeah.
We need that. We may need that.
Well, mark
Well,
down what evidence
actually, you
want.
know what? Actually, let's continue and.
Yeah, I
let's-
don't think
let's-
like it's all that will be demonstrated with the emails.
Okay, so we'll see after. I tell you what you said to me right now. 2014, you own 60%, 600,000 shares. Ava owns 400,000 shares for 40%.
Yeah.
Correct? Then you guys are trying to raise money and you're offering 50%. 15.
Yeah.
For this 15%, an investor called Arto Lethanin decided to invest. But soon after, coincidentally, another investor named David Brohol contacts SolarFire and after 30-minute negotiation, wants to also invest.
Yes, and another key thing is Arto. We meet Arto through this government program called the Vigo program, and then there's like government match funding.
Okay.
And then that's not just a random investor; it's like an accelerator. We're supposed to get service like acceleration services.
Arto is not a random investor. He is
represents the
capable.
Accelerator. Yeah.
He represents
accelerator called East Wings.
An accelerator called East Wings.
Wings, yeah.
So like the opposite of West.
Yes.
And Wings, the thing with the bird. Okay.
Exactly.
East Wings, and this is a government thing. East Wings.
Well, it's part of like the government, like the match funding comes from the government, and there was this whole like government program to like do a series of fundraising. So it's supposed to be that like, okay, they come in and they accelerate, they help, like the deal is supposed to be that they help us make an A round.
Okay, so
right? And they invest and they promise to put $50,000 more euros in to help the A round happen.
Okay, so wait a second. Okay, so Arto is not a random investor. It represents an accelerator called East Wing, which is affiliated to government.
Yeah, well, it's like part of a government program, like a government accelerator program.
Of a governmental program for startup.
Yeah, and then we get like 60,000 euros of like government match funding.
Okay, so which will be a match funding from East Wing.
Well, the government is the match funding.
Okay.
And like I guess East Wings and David are the matchers.
Okay, so Arto is putting 60,000.
No, the government.
Okay, match funding.
Arto puts like 15 and David like about 7, I guess.
Okay, so Arto puts 15k.
Yeah.
David.
Around 7.
David.
Like whatever's like.
But.
Yeah, like a 7.5, like half of.
Half of Arto.
Yeah, because he gets half the shares.
Okay, so 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5.
And the government.
About 50.
But 50.
50, yeah, it was 50, between 50 and 60.
Okay, and the government 50. This is, well, I have first a question. How is that even match funding when Arto and David amounts to 22.5 and the government is putting 50?
Well, we can still call it match funding, but like with more like 2 times multiplier.
Okay.
3 times.
The government funding is an investment or loan?
It's a loan.
Okay, but it's a
maybe
loan.
Maybe it was like half grant and half loan, something like that.
Okay, so it's a grant or loan, but the state, Finland, doesn't own shares.
No.
Okay.
No.
So grant plus loan, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't care about that, but Arto puts 15k and gets shares.
Yeah.
He puts 15k and gets 10% shares.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. And a 10k loan.
Wait.
Like, so then they split, like, so near the end of the negotiation, suddenly they drop, we're not going to put in only equity.
Okay.
We also want, like, the 2/3 of the money as a loan.
Okay, so they...
So I actually...
You can stop the recording.
Just a minute.